Hello everyone, this is Louis, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to use the cinematic editor. In this case I made some modifications just so I can take a screenshot of just Bard. So I chose one of the new units of Deo, so the Deo swordsman, and I changed their model here. So this is their model. I changed it to Elephant Crew, which is invisible, or they don't really have a mesh, so they don't have a model. So it basically makes them invisible, or just they don't really appear on the battle map. And I remove any officers, and I added Bard as I replaced the captain model with the Bard model. So that's basically what I did. So I played a small battle, and I saved the replay. So which would probably be on your replays, in your mod name replays, and then you save it with the name you want. So you can close here the export text unit. I think I need to save. And here's your cinematic editor. You really just have to download these files. I'll provide them for you, and just paste them in your Medieval 2 Total War folder. And you're gonna have basically your CFG with your options. So 2 CFGs and 2 bat files. And if you open your Cine Edit CFG, you can put the path for your replay here, and also the path for the camera. So that's where you're gonna save your cameras, basically, but I think you can choose different locations. So I'm reading the Bard file here, the Bard replay, and I can launch the bat file. I'm not sure how well we're gonna be able to see them. Might be a bit laggy, but should be quick. So this first part is a bit annoying because I don't really know where the. So yeah, you start at like below the ground. So you have to kind of move up, and you use WASD to move around, and yeah, I think he's here. It's sometimes it's really hard to find your model. So yeah, here it is. All the normal map. So with the reflection. So as you can see, the chainmail. So yeah, so at this point you can just, he runs around a little bit, so if you want to kind of take a shot of him running around, that's okay. I can take one very close here. I think it's just the closer you can see there's a bit of a problem with clipping if you get too close. But I'm just gonna take a full size picture here. I'm just using WASD to kind of frame it, and I used right mouse to pan around. I think you can use R and F to go up or down. So the camera is gonna zoom in a little bit, so you might want to kind of give it a bit of room. So yeah, so you frame it and you can start your camera. So press here on, you have group and you have camera, and go new. And yeah, this kind of circle is your camera, but you're not actually viewing the camera. So if you press tab, you're gonna view the camera. So as you can see, it zooms in a bit. So here I press the plus here, and it's gonna show your cameras, and I'm gonna do the plus here and plus on position and focus. I think you have to press shift right mouse button and place a blue line here in your timeline. You can put it some other place if you want. Since I'm just leaving it at the start, but you can place it like a bit later if you need to. And I'm gonna click here on all those X, Y, Z options here. And I'm gonna press insert, and it should insert. Not seeing it. They're here. So insert, we're just gonna add a keyframe. Yeah. So you can press this button here, with the arrows, and you're basically gonna. You have two sliders here at the edges, and those are gonna dictate the length of your video. So I'm making a video rather than and you can use the mouse wheel to zoom in. I'm making a video rather than taking a screenshot. Because it's gonna preserve all the effects, of the shader effects. So yeah, let me save the camera. So it's actually saving capture target, capture underscore TGA, which is fine. I think it's where I usually save them. So, but you can save them anywhere, I think. Just press bar, then should save it as cam file. The keyframe is kind of tricky. Sometimes I can't really get the keyframes to work, so I have to try a few times. So if you open your Cined render CFG, scroll down a little, and you can put your replay here and put your camera, the name of your camera. And you can also put a camera group if you have multiple cameras. And I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna launch the bat file. So yeah, it didn't really work, so I'll try again. Okay, so this time I managed to add add a keyframe. So this time it worked. So yeah, like I said, the keyframes, you press insert. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's saved as AVI. So might be a few options too. You might just make a screenshot directly from your player. You can maybe save a screenshot from the player. I usually use After Effects. I know probably not a lot of people might not have After Effects. I'll just kind of show you how I do it. So just gonna start a new project. So here you have your project. I'm gonna right click and import file, and you can just go to your Medieval 2 folder and find your AVI file. I'm gonna import it, and I'm gonna tell it to ignore alpha because I don't think there's any alpha information. So yeah, just gonna drag it down here, and I'm gonna press lossless, and I'm gonna press here on formats, and instead of AVI, I'm gonna choose PNG sequence and use comp frame number. I usually just leave it at 0. So I untick here the comp frame number. I think they have like trillions of colors, but you don't really need that. And output 2, you can press it, and I usually save it in a subfolder and leave it in this format. So the hash is here. They're just the number, so it's gonna be a number with 4 positions. So like 0001. So yeah, you save. I like to save it in a subfolder. So, and then you just press render, and it should render out all your frames into a PNG sequence. So the shorter you make your file, the less frames you're gonna output, so it's gonna be quicker. So you're gonna have like tons of photos with tons of screenshots, and they're gonna be kind of roughly the same, I think. There's not gonna be much of a change. But if you have them, I can show you. I think maybe with these veterans here. So if you have them running, you can output a sequence here, and you can basically choose the one you like the most. Yeah, let's go back to Bard. And I'm just gonna open it with Photoshop. So yeah, you can use this to preview a unit or a hero. And if you want to make like a unit info card, and here you have a crop tool, and you can kind of choose just the rough size of your crop. I'll just crop it a little. So at this point, you can also make some changes depending on your model. You might want to kind of make some edits if you want to, really. Maybe there's some clipping you might want to adjust. in terms of lately, I've been leaving them kind of natural. I don't really do anything to my screenshots, but you can do some post production, like replace the sky or add some depth of field. So add some blur. You can do that as well. All sorts of things that you can do. I usually just crop it and save it, and you can save it, keep saving as PNG. And if you want to make a unit card, just let me navigate here to the unit info card. So we go to UI, unit info, and let's pick a Scotland one. Can be one of the swordsmen. Make a layer from background, make a selection, and delete. If you want to give it a border, so move it down and scale it. And you might want to sharpen it. Don't know if there's an alpha here. The alpha doesn't seem to do anything. It's kind of basically blank, so you can even save it without an alpha and it should be okay. So yeah, if you're doing that for a unit, you have to kind of make it the name of the unit. Otherwise, it's not gonna appear in game. So you just kind of make sure you have the right names for your units. I'm just doing a random one because it's just an example. So yeah, for if you don't have an alpha, you can save as 24, and you might want to compress it. I've seen some people saying that the unit info cards, they might be an issue if you have like a lot of units. So yeah, you might want to compress it. I'm not sure if it's necessary, but perhaps it's a good idea. So yeah, that's it. And with this stuff, you can do all sorts of things. Maybe you want to make maybe you want to make it part of the menu or part of a splash screen or part of a loading screen, so you can use it for all sorts of stuff, really. So yeah, thank you for watching and see you next time.